Welcome to another episode of the DULO show. Today on the podcast we had Double F Clothing as guests. Tell us a little bit about who he is and what he's doing.
We had a very nice chat with Cisco from Double F Clothing. He's the founder of it, started the whole thing by himself, working on it by himself while also working other jobs and taking care of his family, so big respects for that.
And he's been full-time at Double F Clothing since the end of May.
Yes. So we covered a range of different topics around building the business. We talked about the origins of the business, the name, and where he came up with the whole concept, how he goes production, how he goes about design, how he's allocating his time, financing the whole thing. Challenges. We spoke about content. We spoke about his long-term vision of the company, and the random question was, if he had his choice, who would he collaborate with?
Yeah, it was a very interesting conversation, a very positive one.
Yeah, and he was doing the interview from his car, which is his hustle machine. So that's kind of his office, I'm guessing, at the moment.
It's the very first DULO show recorded from inside of the car.
Yeah.
So maybe a new format.
Yeah.
Okay, hope you enjoyed the episode. This is Double F Clothing with Cisco.
Enjoy.
Well, thanks, man, Cisco. Thanks for taking the time. I'm Julian. I was writing with you on Instagram and emailing, and this is the other part of the operation.
Hi, Marin. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you guys too. I want to thank you guys. Before anything, the pleasure's all mine. This is something that is very new, like as far as like going into the market with the brand. So I'm grateful that you guys have given me an opportunity. Thank you guys.
Well, likewise. I mean, it's something, when I was looking at your profile, I think it's very appropriate profile to have on the podcast, because you're also kind of entering the apparel business, and then we're also kind of brand new. So I think we're kind of on the same vibes. We can share a lot of experience, maybe.
Absolutely, I agree.
Okay, man, just tell us a little bit about yourself and then the company and how it all started, and then we can start from there.
Okay, so my name is Francisco, and I am the founder of Double F Clothing, and that's basically what the 2F stand for. So that's actually my government name. I'm 29 years old. I am a marketing student at Rutgers Business School in Newark, New Jersey. I'm actually going to start next month. I have an associate's degree in business, but I'm continuing my studies because I have like a new motto, and it's that, I'll always be a student. So I like to continue to learn, and, every day is a challenge, especially with this entrepreneurial thing. So that's pretty fun. So Double F Clothing stands for my name, Francisco. I didn't want to choose like a catchy phrase or anything like that to try to get people's attention. I don't want to sell people a fake dream. I don't want to call it, the motivated minded people or anything like that. So I decided to keep it professional, use my name, and kind of just go about it, go about positivity and motivation, tell people my story, learn from other people. And I just kept my name on the brand, and I'm just going about it and showing people what being positive and being motivated is about. The idea came up about in 2014, but I took a lot of steps. Like I was in school, and I was also a full-time employee, full-time dad, full-time partner. So, it was pretty busy, but I don't like to use excuses. Basically, I just didn't take that next step to say, all right, here we go, let's do it. So I officially said, let's go do it, like May 31st. So basically, we've been out in the market for about 2 months. As of now, about 2 months in the market.
Is that so? When did you start the whole thing, and then how long did it take you to get to market with actual products?
So the idea came about in 2014. Basically, I went through a lot of struggles. Not like I was poor or anything like that. Just people go through emotional struggles in life and things like that. Trying to figure out, what our purpose is. Who we are. What do we want to do? You know what I mean? What satisfies us? What kind of solidifies our purpose on this earth, So I went through things like that, and I started sketching up things on a piece of paper. I said, I want to build a brand, and I want to, kind of create some type of culture behind it. So I started doing the sketches in 2014, And like I said, I went to school and I just started putting a whole bunch of presentations together for school and public speaking and all these things, and even making up fictitious numbers and accounting and things like that. And now I'm here. Now I just kind of, I guess you could say, I kind of put all the pieces together, and now we're rolling.
Nice one.
Nice, man. And what was the driver to actually start and open your store?
So I recently left my job, and basically, I just wanted more opportunity for growth. I wanted to continue to learn, and I felt like, I put a, I was in my company for 8 years, so, I felt like it was my time to take the next step. But unfortunately, um, page as that as far as that goes. So I kind of had to, take matters into my own hands, and I started the brand, and I did it myself because I felt like I wouldn't say ready. I would say that no one's ever really ready for anything. You just kind of have to go do it, and you learn from your mistakes, and you keep improving, and you keep and you keep working. Um, but that was really what did it. I needed to kind of break out of my box. I needed to try new things. So now I'm here with this brand, and every day it's something new. Like today, I just I put up the backpack for a pre-order, and it's a whole new thing, because I was doing clothing, and then all of a sudden I just put together a backpack because I'm going back to school next month, and then everybody's like, I want the backpack, I want the backpack. So I'm like, all right, they want the backpack, give them the backpack. So, but then you have to learn you have to learn about your product, otherwise how are you going to sell it? So I have to, learn about the materials, the nylon, the dimensions, what fits in it, the durability and things like that. So it's fun, I'm learning something new every day, and I was pushed to do this because I felt like a lot of the things that I wanted to do I was being limited, so I had to do it myself.
Yes, I can understand.
And was the old work that you had, that was your full-time job, related in any way to apparel or clothing?
It was not actually. I was a healthcare consultant. I moved my way up to an assistant manager over 8 years. Well, I was an assistant manager for almost 3 years. I was going on 3 years, but I was in the company for 8 years as a healthcare consultant. So basically, I helped medical insurance to apply for benefits either through the state or federal government, whether they were disabled, age, blind, disabled, and things like that, minor children, pregnant women. So it was a really good job because I got to help people. And I kind of learned one of my main purposes in life is to help people. So whether that's through sharing my stories or helping people get insurance, which was what I did at that point, and now, trying to spread positivity and motivation to my generation, and also even people who are older. It doesn't even matter. Like, it's never too late to start something. It's never too late to, go after your dreams. So that's kind of the culture I want to build around the brand.
And the vision that you have, it seems that positivity is such a huge pillar in it. Is that something that it formed in your ears while you were working in this as a healthcare consultant, or was this something that was with you from before?
I think you guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've always had it in me. It's just a matter of being able to understanding that, you should really be positive minded regardless of, how well things go or how bad things go. And, just humbled by looking at other people's situations. A lot of people that are unfortunate, people who are sick. Nobody wants to be sick. Nobody chooses to be sick. Nobody chooses to be, in a bad position. Sometimes people are just unfortunate. So I guess being exposed to all those situations and things like that just kind of helped me get closer. But I think I've always had it in me that I always wanted to be, positive minded, and just I wanted to be surrounded by positive people. It's never going to be 100%, but as far as like your circle, you can always find a way to get around people who have a similar mindset and who kind of understand where you're coming from, or people that you can convert to start kind of looking at things, in a brighter way.
And are you working on this completely by yourself? Is it like a solo venture, or do you have anyone else helping?
I don't have like a solid team right now, but I do work closely with my graphic designer. He has been there since day one, and basically, I'm not the best graphic designer out there. So I did the sketches, and he's a very talented guy, very creative guy. He basically goes in there, cleans up the designs. He also has a very creative mind, so he'll add suggestions and things like that. So I consider him like a mentor as far as like my graphic designer. And recently, I started working with one is actually a photographer and a videographer. I work with those two guys as of now, and I had two people model. If you guys seen them on the pages, Jen Six and Brittany, they did a great job. We did a photo shoot in Brooklyn, which pretty much was our only photo shoot so far. And they do and then my wife, she also helps out with everything. We just had an event this past Sunday in Queens, and there were several people there. Don Shay Hopkins from Power was there. Angela Yee from Power 105. DJ Melody, which was the guy that made everything happen. So I bumped into all those people, and I'm just kind of open-minded, and I just want to work. And now I'm with the DULO guys. You know what I mean? So.
Exactly. And are you bootstrapping the whole thing, or are you looking for investors? How do you go about the whole investment and seed stage?
I'm not looking for really investors. I'm not going to completely close the door on that, but at this time, I haven't really thought about it. I have had a couple of people come up to me and offer it and say, look, if you're looking for somebody to invest, I'll be willing to invest or whatever. I guess, over time, people start to kind of, I get more, when they see this thing is real. I haven't really put too much mind into that. Basically, my main mindset has been quality and getting my message across. That has been my three biggest things, and just being patient, knowing that, things are not going to happen overnight. To take a step forward every day. So that doesn't necessarily need to be sales. It can be, for example, now, like this is my first ever podcast. I've never done anything like this. So this is huge for me, and I'm very happy that things like this are coming along. But basically, if you don't if you don't try to move forward on a daily basis, things like this don't come up, because if I'm not putting up content, if I'm not putting out products, if I'm not, for the brand, chances are you guys would have been like, this guy's not for real. I'm not, we're not going to waste our time with this. So I think right now that has been my main focus. I haven't really gone into the investing part, but who knows, maybe that will be something that I need to do.
How do you balance out the work that you have at Double F Clothing with the family life that you have? You said you have 2 kids, and you're obviously full-time dedicated to Double F Clothing, but you have a specific time schedule that you're adhering to, or it's basically every waking moment that is not tied into family life?
About like how my work schedule, like how I balance that out?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that, before I even got into the brand, I had to already find a way to find a work-life balance, which is one of the big subjects in the entire world, work-life balance. Most of the successful people, well, not most, but a lot of successful people, they work a lot of hours, a lot, and it's draining. And I guess when you're enjoying it, it doesn't feel as draining. I'm just starting to experience that, and it's the best feeling in the world. This doesn't feel like work to me at all, and I'm happy that I found something like that. So I had already went through years and years of figuring out, how do I balance everything out? How do I enjoy time with my kids and my wife, and still, make this happen with work and school? That was the subject before I got into now, with the brand. About finding that balance, how does it work out for you? Everybody has different structures of how their living arrangement is. So I'll use mine as an example, and I'll just say that my out is that I know when to chill. I know when to say, okay, let's go to the movies, with the kids. Or when I just need to take a moment to stop and just have a conversation with one of my kids. They're 5. One is 5, the other one's 3. He's going to be 4 next month. It's about just knowing when to turn that switch off for a second and focus on that. So to use an example, to answer that question perfectly, the brand, I started off, like I said, in June, and it's already planned. I was already resigning from my job, but I had a vacation planned for a week, and we went to Disney. So I had to do that while, the brand was already up and, was already out and up and going. All this stuff in before the vacay. I got the photo shoot done. I can't even recall. Like, I had to restock on certain products. Like, there were all these things I had to do, and I got them done. So I'm sitting here in the airport getting ready to go to Disney, and I'm calling the manufacturer to order tank tops because I was getting ready to drop tank tops. But I didn't tell anybody because, sorry, I had to go to Disney with the kids because I've been working so much, and I need a break, and, my kids deserve it. And trust me, I'm going to get back on the grind when I get back. So it was kind of like hey guys, I'm back. So while I was gone, I had the tank tops manufactured, and I restocked on products. So when I came back, it was like a brand new store and everything. So it kind of worked out. So that's an example of how, I balance it out. So meanwhile, I'm in Disney in a roller coaster with my son, but, the tank tops were being manufactured, came back with a new product, and it was like, you never miss a beat. So.
How do you go about production? Are you working with just one supplier, or are you using different products?
Definitely different suppliers, and I would say that that's the biggest challenge with this game. Finding quality, being able to get things in the right time frame. That's the toughest part, I would say, about all. Finding a trustworthy manufacturer or supplier. So as of now, I'm dealing with different suppliers. And as far as manufacturing, I just have one place who does the printing right now and one place that does the embroidery. So it's just 2 places. But it's a big thing for me, just a quality thing, maintaining the quality as high as possible, always improving. And it's nerve-wracking. It's the most nerve-wracking thing because to me, I just want to put out a good product, and have a good name behind that product. So that's the most challenging thing. So as of now, with a couple of different people, but as time goes, sometimes that stays the same. Sometimes you got to make adjustments accordingly.
Are you able to visit each of the suppliers, or are you doing completely remotely? How's the communication going?
I decided that because I am a new brand and I'm very small, I think I'm always going to look at it as small because I'm always trying to make it better. So that's kind of like my mindset. But my thing was that, like I said, it's nerve-wracking to me, like the whole quality thing. So I chose 2 places where I can actually go in person. So I can go in person and I can look at the clothing. I can look at how they're printing it. What are they using to print it? Where's the stuff going to go exactly? The location of it, the size. Those 2 places that I can go in person. So I have face-to-face interaction with these guys. Lately, what I've been doing is I'll just have the products shipped to them, and then I'll go there as far as planning how we're going to go about everything. Face-to-face interaction with both of them. I think that's the best way for me right now, until I'm able to learn more or find more flexibility where I can get that stuff done without me having to go there. But as of now, I'm okay with putting in the work around all day, either to the manufacturer or to the embroidery place, and I'm enjoying that.
And what is the biggest challenge during this production and sourcing cycle?
The biggest challenge, I would say, is finding the right product, basically exactly what you want, and then making sure that the quality is where you need it to be when the product is complete. I would think that's the biggest challenge, because if you can put out a good product, eventually, if you continue to promote it and um, you continue to be seen from one person to another, it's going to start spreading. And if the quality is good, people are going to want to wear it. They're going to feel comfortable wearing it. And then that also adds to the value of the brand. So the hardest part to me would be finding the right place to get the product from, and then delivering the overall product, with the quality that you need in the end.
You mentioned content before. How do you, because there's a lot of platforms. I think it's one of our biggest issues, because there's a lot of platforms, a lot of formats of content. How do you go about creating and distributing content? And is there somewhere you currently focus? It's like one of the platforms? Are you trying to be on the most places you can?
As far as content goes, actually, there was one part that I forgot to mention. I think one more thing that's very challenging is gaining credibility. So whether that be through Facebook ads or through Instagram promotions, that's also a very tough part. And, I've done adjustments to try to improve that. I've added the reviews to the website and things like that. So, people can see that the stuff is real, to build that reputation online. I've been getting a lot of local support for the brand, and that's been awesome. A lot of people in New Jersey, a lot of people in New York, but I want to expand. I want to go out to California, eventually international. So as far as platforms, I am most active on Instagram. I just feel like it's so easy to just go right in the DM and the little red bubble pops up. I think the way that it's set up, people just kind of like to communicate through Instagram. It's very easy. It's very communication friendly, in my opinion. So I'm very heavy on Instagram, but I'm starting to get also into Facebook. I understand that the market for Facebook is the largest. And I also do have a Facebook store that I set up. Learning about Facebook ads, which we just talked about. Like I said, one of the big challenges is getting credibility online from the online world. It's not easy. And finding your target audience is not easy, because you might think it's something, but it might not be. So it takes work and it takes time and it takes experimenting. And so I'm just trying to gain a lot of knowledge in that, as far as like the Facebook ads and finding your target audience and helping to grow that audience, and then just continuing to deliver with the products.
Where are you learning about Facebook ads? How do you go about learning about Facebook ads?
Honestly, I wish I could tell you right now, because I've been basically experimenting and reading and using common sense and just kind of putting it all together. As soon as I have the perfect answer, I will get back to you with that, because as of right now, I'm really just trying to figure it out. So, you can go from looking for a certain interest or certain habits and certain locations. So I would say that it's a lot of it goes into research. So if you're into fashion, you're gonna go research fashion. Where's the fashion industry moving right now? Where is it popular? Where, all these things. Interest. I'm a hip hop lover. That's just in my blood. I grew up in an urban environment. I'm a big hip hop guy. So I don't know. Maybe that's the the group. It's not that I'm confused. It's just that was not just created for one set of people. But I do understand that maybe people might buy it more than others. That I do understand. But my brand wasn't just created for one group of people. It's kind of a lifestyle. So I recently went to a event for Dame. It was for Damon John, the guy that created FUBU, that he's on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah. So one thing I learned there, they were speaking, and they said, you only have one competitor, is the guy all the way at the top. So I look at myself like, why can't I be the next Nike? Even though they're a sports brand, but they're a successful brand, and people wear it from all over the world. It's not just one age group. It's not just, So why? I can definitely see myself building a culture that way. It takes time. It takes years. It takes work, but I'm willing to put in that work. So top, and that's the only competition. And I see how can I get one step closer to getting up there. So
great stuff.
What's Cisco? What's the kind of the long-term vision of the company? Are you working with any are you doing any collaborations towards that vision that you kind of have, or is it something that you're kind of trying out organically?
My vision for the company in the long run, I definitely want to go big. I want to go big. I want to do sponsorships. I want to team up with people. I'm into all the business. I'm into everything. And nowadays, if you're gonna grow, if you're gonna get out there, you need to do it. You need to you need to market yourself. You need to work with people. That's the only way you're gonna grow your audience. That's the only way you're gonna get more attention and eventually get more customers and more people to follow your brand and your movement. So I'm definitely open to all these opportunities that may be able to come along my way. It's just a matter of making the decisions when those offers come up. You got to know how to say no when it's inappropriate. But for the most part, I'm looking forward to work with a lot of people with different things. And I don't know, maybe this podcast can help me get some people to see the brand, international, and eventually that's also one of my goals, to be able to ship worldwide. I don't just want to ship here, but I just kind of been taking things a little bit one step at a time so I can do things properly and limit the amount of mistakes that I make. But happening very soon as far as like shipping things, international and things like that. And I'm very open-minded. I'm open to doing collaborations and things like that and discussing ideas and projects.
You touched on shipping. What's your current process in terms of shipping? I saw on Instagram that you're shipping currently only in the US. Just talk a little bit about how you approach that.
So basically, we're shipping only in the United States as of now, and we're shipping through priority mail. So it's very straightforward. We use the flat rate option, which basically gives you one price, and then the item gets to the customer from 1 to 3 business days, which is pretty quick. And I know, one of the big things nowadays is people want things now and they want it fast. So we decided to go with that shipping method. I thought about different things in the beginning, how to maybe make the shipping a little more affordable and things like that. But if you want to mix, affordable with getting it to the customer as fast as possible, you can't always find like a perfect equilibrium. Just decided to go priority mail, 1 to 3 business days, and go from there. I ship everything, so as of now, I'm holding on to the inventory. I'm not doing any like drop shipping or anything like that yet, which is also something very big that I've been considering and just working on in the background. But as of now, I hold the inventory and I ship it out to the customers.
Great. And have you had issues because of that culture of people expecting to receive something the same day or the next day, and you may have your order take a little bit longer time? I'm asking because I see all this new behavior that Amazon is creating, for example, that people expect everything to be delivered to them almost immediately. They order it and it's at their doorstep. And for young, small companies, it's very hard to have this kind of service from day one when you're so small and you don't have the resources to afford that. And especially if you're shipping internationally, it could take 1 or 2 weeks. Have you had any issues or people complaining about that? Or did you find people are understanding and supportive of being such a small and young player and they're more willing to accept longer delays?
Okay. So as far as issues, I haven't really had any issues with people not getting things on time. That was something that I found out through research. So a lot of things, I do a lot of things through research. I look out to see if there's any patterns, any trends, things like that, as far as like service goes. So I read into a lot of stuff, and I haven't really had any issues. So as of now, the priority mail has been working pretty well. Tracking number, I give them a tracking number as soon as the item is shipped. They're able to track it. I'm able to track it. We can see, very accurate date that the package might get there. So as of now, it's worked pretty well. I haven't really had any issues with that.
And is your store on Shopify? I mean, in the sense of, are you automating those emails with the tracking numbers and stuff like that?
I had to debate between using Shopify. That's a whole nother aspect. I went with Big Cartel. Because it was more affordable for me, being that I was starting as a small business, and they help with the inventory, that the process for the orders is very smooth. Adjustments in the near future, but as of now, I went with Big Cartel.
I think that the audio got a little bit.
That's connection.
It was a little more affordable, and they also help out with keeping track of inventory, emails, and things like that. I'll contact the customers myself, so which is fun because I get to interact with them and let them know that I'm there. If they have any questions or if there's any issues, they have someone that they can call directly. So it's kind of like the salesman slash the customer service guy. So it's fun, I email them directly. I send them the information, and I leave that door open in case they have any questions or there's anything that they need from me.
Do you try to do like some nice custom things, like sending a personal note or something like that?
Yeah, we do. Right now, we've been sending out postcards. So we have custom postcards that go out with the orders as a thank you, of course. And that's also an area that we're constantly working on. Different things as far as like adding things in there. As part of customer appreciation. There's different things you can do when it comes to that. You want to add a sticker, you want to add a note. Item, I don't know. There's different things you can do. It depends. It depends on the customer. You kind of just gotta go with your gut, the way you feel. But you definitely have to show customers that they're appreciated, and that even though they're contributing to your growth, it's more of you're the one that has to be grateful that they even took the time to go to your website, to even look at your stuff to begin with, let alone purchase something. So you definitely have to continue to be thankful. And yes, we do the postcards, and then I also had a promotion, like a coupon going out there. It actually expires August 31st. It's a 15% off coupon after somebody makes the first purchase. That's been running for a while, and it's been going pretty good. So yeah, definitely add things and definitely change them up over time throughout the seasons and things like that. That's a very important part about business. You got to understand that you have to have the mentality that you have to give more than you're going to get. So you have to make things easier for people to buy, make people feel appreciated, make people feel a part of the brand. They're not just buying something and you just throw a product at them. You have to add that little extra.
I'm gonna shift gears a bit with a bit of a random question. We usually do one of these per episode, and for this one, my random question is if you can collaborate with any brand or company or person, who would that be? Just one, man.
Wow, that's tough, man. That's a tough one. That's out there. That's really tough.
Could be a company, could be like an athlete or or musician?
If I'm gonna say an athlete, I'm gonna go with Aaron Judge. He's a New York Yankee, so from the baseball team.
Okay.
I'm a diehard Yankee fan, first of all, so I'm already from the East. He is a very young player. He's upcoming right now. He's becoming one of the biggest faces of Major League Baseball. Even though the brand is not in that. There's nothing really, what do you say, like athletic in the brand right now. Like it's not like Nike or anything like that. But having him wear something like that and knowing, the future he can possibly have by what I see in him, I would say Aaron Judge. He's a very young kid. He's very talented. He's big. He just won the home run derby. He's a New York Yankee. I've been a New York Yankee fan for over 20 years. And instead of me going straight to the top to someone who's already established, I would rather go to somebody young who I know worked really, really hard to get where he's at. And I think he will represent the brand well. I think he has great sportsmanship. And I would say Aaron Judge from the New York Yankees.
Great stuff. Being respectful of your time, we don't want to hold you on the line because you also have a family to take care of on this nice Sunday.
And a business to run.
And a business to run. Find out more about you.
About yourself, website, social media handles.
You guys broke up a little bit there.
Oh.
Where can people find more about you or the company? So like social media handles, website links.
Yes. Okay. So the website is thisisf.bigcartel.com. And social media, follow us at _F_clothing. That would be the most active social media page where you can find out more about the brand and things like that. I don't go too into depth talking about myself because this is a movement. This is not about me. This is about, people coming together and bringing together their experiences and learning from each other and being positive-minded and motivated. So I would say follow me on Instagram and follow me on Facebook. Instagram is _F_clothing. On Facebook, we are at thisisf. Soon.
Nice one. Yeah, you're quite active on Instagram stories as well, so it's a nice insight to the founding person's kind of lifestyle.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
You're quite active on Instagram stories as well, so it's a nice sneak peek into the founder's lifestyle and how you run things.
I can't. You broke up a little bit. I'm sorry. I don't know why right now it's breaking. You said something about Instagram and the lifestyle.
Yeah, having the stories and documenting all your journey on the stories is a nice insight into the life of an entrepreneur and the early days of Double F.
Okay. Yes. Instagram. Yeah, that's true. Basically, yeah, Instagram will take you through everything, and I'm just out there being myself. And whether it's listening to music, you're gonna see me in the car a lot because I'm on the move. I've been doing Lyft lately. So I'm literally in my car either dropping off stuff to people, I'm doing Lyft, I'm, going to an event. So you're going to see me in the car a lot like you see me right now. This is my hustle machine. So yeah, you guys can really get a taste of everything that's going on step by step on the Instagram stories and all that. So saw that and yeah, it's definitely the entrepreneur life right now.
Yeah. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate your time again. I think we're probably can shoot a lot more on business, but maybe we can do a part 2 sometime in the future if you're up for it.
Absolutely. I can definitely see myself working with you guys again. I appreciate you guys doing this. This is the first ever podcast. Hopefully one day, it becomes a legendary podcast. It'll be the first ever podcast between DULO and Double F. So let's just keep working, guys, and I'll be shouting you guys out too. I appreciate it.
Exactly, man. Likewise.
Thanks, man.
Have a great Sunday. Have a great week ahead of you. And yeah, keep in touch. We'll keep on following your stories.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for the opportunity. You guys have a great day too.
Thanks, man.